Good afternoon, everyone. This is Julio from Language Athlete. I hope you guys are rocking it like a boss. I'm just trying to paste this or post this in my Facebook. I had promised to do this every week in the morning. I had a crazy morning today, so if anybody actually did care about it, I sincerely apologize. I just couldn't do it. And also, I'm thinking probably the light is better right now, so let's figure out time over the
Light is better
weeks.
right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So let
So if anybody has an opinion, if anybody watches this and is like, dude, I would like to have it live, I watch it, and this would be good for me. Since we're so little at the moment, I love to like move around the time. So I'm just posting on Facebook, so my millions of followers can watch it, and it is there. So today's subject, guys, is the ser estar, or the to be verb in English. Let me just go to where I want to be. And it's a very interesting subject. Some of you might have already heard of it, some of you might not. Um, but basically, in English, you guys have one to be verb. You have, if you want to say who you are, you say I am Julio in my case. If you want to say how you feel, you say I am tired, I'm exhausted. It will be the same verb, which honestly makes it very easy, I would say. While doing this, if anybody has any questions or anything they want to say, I'll be happy to answer. So the to be verb in Spanish is slightly different. We split it into two different verbs, which makes it a little bit complicated to learn when you're not a native speaker. Of course, for us, it's the easiest thing in the world. Um, Personally, I would like to explain the feeling of the rules before we go into the rules, because thinking about 10 rules at once when you speak kind of makes no sense. So I kind of want to make you understand what is the sense of the rule, and then we'll talk about the rules. So we have two different verbs, ser and estar. For us, it's not just to be. One of them talks about things that define you, right? That will be the verb ser. Everything that I'm telling you right now, the conjugations of these verbs and stuff like that, they're gonna be at the bottom of this video. So if you go to the description, you're gonna have the conjugation of ser, the conjugation of estar. The conjugation of ser is yo soy, tú eres, él es, nosotros somos, ustedes son, ellos son. And as I said, it's at the description of the video. The conjugation of estar is yo estoy, tú estás, él está, nosotros estamos, ustedes están, ellos están. You can see this at the description of the video. And the verb ser, we use it to talk about things that define you, like who are you or what are you, right? So if I ask what are you, you're going to say, okay, I am a man, I'm Mexican, I'm brown, I'm short. Those are things that don't change. Those are things that define me as a person. Um, and even if they would change, when they change, they bring about a bunch of changes, right? So if I am a Catholic per se, I'm a religious person, yo soy católico, and then I change and become an atheist, then I would say yo soy ateo. Therefore, now my life is completely different. So we use ser because ser defines you, right? If I say I am a teacher, yo soy profesor. As I said, you can see the conjugations in the description of the video. Yo soy profesor. I am a teacher. That's what I am. That's what I represent in the world. That's how I see myself. That's how I define myself. And if I would change into a firefighter, ahora soy bombero, that changes everything. That changes what I am, what I do for a living, how I feel about myself. So everything that defines you in every manner that you can define yourself would be ser. Estar is pretty much quite the opposite. It's anything that doesn't define you, it's just a state or a location. We're going to see all of the rules in a minute. And because this is not a proper class per se, we're going to cover like 80% of what you need, right? But with this, you're going to be able to function quite good if you pay attention. So estar is like estoy cansado, I'm tired. Estoy triste, I'm sad, because it doesn't define me. I'm not a tired. Or estoy triste, I'm not as sad. I am a person who's sad. I'm a person who's tired, right? So estar doesn't define who or what you are. Ser defines who or what you are. Ser is more like inherent. It's more about your characteristic. Estar is more about the state, about the moment, about what is not you. Now, these rules can be bent a little bit because, for example, I can be ill for 30 years. Estoy enfermo, or he estado. I have been ill por 30 años. This is still estar because even if it is long time, I'm not ill, right? I'm a person who's ill. And also, I can just be a teacher. Puedo ser profesor for a year. Soy profesor o fui profesor. I was a teacher por un año. And then I stop. So it's not so much about the length of time, rather how much it defines you or your characteristics. Like if I say soy inteligente, regularly being intelligent, it's not a state of mind. It's not like you're intelligent now and then you're not intelligent later. Being intelligent is quite definitory, right? Same as being attractive, or same as being you know I got stuck shy, or whatever you are. It's any characteristic that you have. Now, that's main point. I'm going to move to the rule now, just to close it. If it defines you, ser. If it doesn't define you, está. Now, the rule itself, and as I say, everything I'm reading here, you can see at the description of the video. Um, the first rule is for essential or permanent characteristics. As I just mentioned, I am Mexican. I am a man. I am short. So those are things that I am, and they are either permanent, or if they change everything. Place or time of an event. This is one that I really like to explain because I think it confuses everyone, and it kind of shouldn't if you pay attention to it. If I say la fiesta, the party, es en el parque, the party is at the park, or la fiesta es el viernes, the party is on Friday, all of my students get confused. They're like, well, you told me temporary things are estar. Why is a party, which is 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours, not temporary? Why is it a set? So my best explanation to this, because the rule itself is a rule, but then the explanation we all have is different depending on the teacher, right? So my best explanation is um, the party is relative. It's temporary relative to you. So yeah, in my life, the party is temporary. The same way I'm temporary to the sun, but the party in itself is a being, and the party is born and it dies at the park, or the party of Friday is born and it dies on Friday. If I have an event Friday and Saturday, and I go to the event on Friday and I go to an event on Saturday, it's a whole different event. They're two different beings. So the party is born at the park and it dies at the park. Therefore, the characteristics of the party is being at the park, being on Friday, being at 7. So for the party itself, being at the park is not temporary. For the party itself, being at 7 is not temporary. It's part of its characteristics. If you make a party at the mall, it's a whole different party. If you make a party at 1 in the afternoon, it's a whole different party. If you make a party on Saturday, it's a whole different party. So every characteristic of the party makes it what it is. I continue talking. If anybody has comments or questions now or after the video, feel free to put them in the chat. Second rule, which you can read it also below the video, is third rule, descriptions or opinions, right? So if I say, él es muy inteligente, he's very intelligent, or ella es muy bonita, she's very pretty, or ella es muy responsable, she's very responsible, or él es muy alto, he's very tall. Those are things that are my opinion. They can be not tall for someone else, not intelligent for someone else, not responsible for someone else. However, in my perspective, that is inherent to the person. That is a characteristics of the person. It's not going to change. Is what defines them. It makes them a person. So, soy hombre, soy inteligente, soy responsable. It's just me being something as a definition. The next rule would be then days, dates, times, and seasons. You can see this rule written at the bottom of the video. And this applies the same as to the events, right? Today is Tuesday, and it's not like Tuesday is going to change to Wednesday. Rather, Tuesday dies, and then Wednesday, the 16th of February of the 22 is going to be born. Then Wednesday doesn't change to Thursday. Wednesday dies into Thursday, right? Same with spring dies into summer, so on and so forth. So when it comes to days, dates, times of the day, seasons, because they die into the next one, they are beings that die. So it's ser. Es lunes, es martes, es miércoles, es viernes, so on and so forth. The next one is passive voice of process. It would take me a while to explain this. So if anybody has any doubts, I'm happy to make a video about this. With the preposition of para in order to indicate the objective or the purpose of something. So for example, I have this broom, tengo esta escoba para limpiar. I have this broom to clean. That is what it is for. Therefore, it's a definition, right? Es una escoba, es para limpiar. That's why you use the verb ser. Any questions or that you have, please let me know. As I said in the beginning of this video. So I'm not trying to make it exactly a class, rather more of a Q&A. Hopefully it develops into such at some point. Um, Information about how much I have to pay. This is really important, actually, or very interesting. If you get the phone and the wallet and you're like, I want to buy these two things, how much is this? You would say, ¿cuánto es? How much is this? ¿Cuánto es? And the reason why you say cuánto es because you're saying how much is the agreement now? How much is the price at the moment? How much is the money that I have to pay for this? It's not going to change if I pay for it. So it becomes a thing. It defines it. Because if I'm asking for the price of something that fluctuates, for example, bananas, and I'm going to say how much is the banana today, I would say ¿a cuánto está el plátano hoy? I would say está, given that the banana, I'm looking at it within the map of fluctuation. So I'm saying where in the map of fluctuation it is. Today is at $7. Today is at $3. So when it comes to talking about the price in the fluctuation of the day, it's a location. When it comes to talk about the agreement, it's not a location, rather a definition. So if you're going to talk about cuánto es, how much is it, is going to be, of course, cuánto es. Indicate material or origin. I think this is the easiest one. Mi mesa, la mesa, the table, es de madera, is made of wood. Why? Because it defines it. It's a characteristic. It doesn't change. Origin. Yo soy de Mexico. I'm from Mexico. That doesn't change. Like, I'm never gonna not be from Mexico. It's part of who I am. And to indicate ownership, right? Like, este teléfono es mío. This phone is mine. Este teléfono es mío. And the reason why it is es is because its existence is about being mine. If I can break it. I can do whatever I want with it. If I give it to someone else, then it becomes yours or his or whomever, and then that person can do whatever they want. It's a whole different destiny for the phone. Now, with the verb estar, which is estoy, estás, está, estamos, están, están, I have it in the description of the video. It's quite the opposite then. It's not about what you are, but basically about what you are not, right? So, temporary characteristics. So, I am mad, I am happy, estoy enojado, estoy feliz, estoy cansado, I'm tired. All of these characteristics do not define you. They don't say who you are, rather your state at the moment. Location, right? So yo estoy en mi casa. I am in my house. Why? Because I'm not the house. That's the place where I am. It doesn't define me as a human being. My aspect, right? So this is actually a very interesting one because I can say, tú eres muy guapo. You're very handsome, meaning as a description, as a characteristic, as a genetics, you are handsome. But I can also say, tú estás muy guapo, meaning you're wearing a suit, you're dressed up, you look very well or very good. So when it comes to aspect at the moment, it's going to be estar. And last one is passive voice of state. Once again, passive voice, I'm going to explain it in the future. At the moment, it wouldn't help a lot because this is quite basic what we're studying today. As I just mentioned, you can see the conjugations in the description. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show a couple of examples. I'm going to say them first in English. And then, in case anybody wants to kind of think, is it this or is it that? And then I'm going to give the answer. The questions in the description as they don't have the answer. So you're going to have to hear me for that. I'm going to give you 10 and I'm going to put another 10 in case you want to check them after the video without a response. Welcome to answer in the comments if you want to have the response, right? So the first one would be, basically you got to choose if it is ser or estar. Nosotros, or we are in the classroom where we are. Is it ser or estar? And the translation will be nosotros estamos en el salón. You can have this. You can see this at the bottom of the page. The window is open. The window is open. Oh, I'm sorry, the explanation, sorry. Nosotros estamos en el salón. It's we are in the classroom because that's not what we are, right? That's just the definition. That's just the place where we are. If I say the window is open, would it be ser or estar? And the response is estar. La ventana está abierta. The reason for this is because the window is not a characteristic of it to be open. You could say it is transparent, it is crystalline, but it's not open. So it's open is just a state of the window. La ventana está abierta, as much as it could be closed. If I say I am very handsome, would it be ser or estar? That's the example where both work. Yo soy muy guapo. I'm genetically handsome. Yo estoy muy guapo. I look very good today. Next one would be my teacher's Mexican. Es it ser or estar? And it would be ser. Mi profesor es mexicano. The reason for this is because that's where your teacher is from. It's not going to change. It's a characteristic of him. Therefore, ser. The day is cloudy. Is it ser or estar? I recommend you to pause if you want to think about it. The day is cloudy. Está nublado. El día está nublado. Why está? Because the day is not as a characteristic. Cloudy is just a state of the day. It's not a characteristic of a day being cloudy. Exercise is good for your health. Is good for your health. Is it ser or estar? The response or the answer is ser. El ejercicio es bueno para la salud. And the reason for this is because it's my opinion. I'm not saying it's a state is going to change later. Right now is good, later is not good. In my eyes, that's a characteristic of the exercise. Is good for your health. The concert is at the stadium. The concert is at the stadium. Now, is it ser or estar? The answer is es en el estadio. As we mentioned before, events happen to be es because they are born and they die where they happen, right? So, or when they happen. So el concierto is a concert, yeah. El concierto es en el estadio. The next one would be my parents are in Mexico. My parents are in Mexico. Is it ser or estar? The answer is mis papás están, estar. Mis papás están en Mexico. And the reason for this is because I'm not saying where they're from, rather where they're at. So, mis papás están en Mexico. I see one person there. If you have a question, I would love to engage. So let me know if you have a question about this. You are brown and short. You are brown and short. I'm brown and short particularly. Is it ser or estar? It's ser because I am that. Yo soy moreno y chaparrito, o tú eres moreno y chaparrito, or bajito, depending on the word you use. We are tired. Is it ser or estar? It's estar because it doesn't define us. Nosotros estamos cansados. Now, that's the last of 10 examples. There's other 10 examples there in the description of the video in case you want to check them out, try to make them and or resolve them and put them in the comments. Let me know if you got them right or wrong. I can, of course, see them and respond. I'm gonna finish this in 2 minutes. If you have any questions, welcome to throw them in. And before I leave, just remember, if you like this video, and believe me, we're gonna try to improve, or I'm gonna try to improve in the future. This is just a new project, so I'm getting to know it. But if you like it, hit the notification button, press subscribe, share to your friends and your mom and your girlfriend and everyone. Any suggestions, any questions, anything, if you have any subject, right, that you're like, dude, I'm taking classes, I'm taking Spanish classes, and I'm not understanding subjunctive, or I'm not understanding, direct object, or whatever you don't understand, let me know. I'll be happy to talk about it. I mean, this is what I do every day, so I'll have it ready in a minute. And thank you very much, and have an excellent day. Study like an athlete. Go to languageathlete.com if you're interested in classes. And that's all I got to say. Have a great day.